Hello, this is Sofia LightJewel with the Empowered Love Way. I'm so happy to be here, and I want to share an experience with you and a light language transmission about connecting to your heart and releasing and surrendering control and filling yourself with love through that connection of your heart, because your heart is a gateway to that aspect of yourself that is infinite, that is divine, that is beyond the limitation and the constructs of the mind. I heard somewhere, I can't remember where, but it's a beautiful thing that fear, it's a clear indication that you're in your head, because love doesn't exist. Fear doesn't exist when you're in love, and love doesn't exist when you're in fear. And so when you're in your heart, you're in love, you're confident, you're in a place of trust, you're in a place of connectedness and centeredness and groundedness. And so the heart is that gateway to the infinite aspect of who you are. Don't forget, you are a universal child. You are a universal child. And so as a universal child, the light of the universe exists within you as you. So you vibrate and you resonate and you radiate this light. The essence of who you are is light. And so the heart, think about this, from the one cell that multiplied, and you can bring this image into multiple different ways, from the one source to multiply the different ways of manifestation as incarnated beings, from the one cell that it was you, multiply to your whole body. And so this one cell, the first organ in your body, is your heart, and from your heart, that pulsation that creates a magnetic field, then it developed into different parts of your body, your hand, your different organs, and so on. Like, think about that, the magical, the power, the amazingness, and the magnitude of intelligence and order that exists in life for you to be here in this way, to have a body in this way. It's fantastic, it's amazing. And so coming back to the heart and the energy of the heart, love is a unifying field. Love brings and attracts and brings things together. I do believe that life, at the core of life, it's love resonance. And so this is because the fabric of life is love, and it unifies everything. We have believed and we have learned. I have learned. I remember in school in biology learning that, the law of competition, where in fact we're coming to an age and a learning and understanding and an experience as well, because you can learn a lot of theories and knowledge and so on, but the gift is when you actually have the experience within yourself. You can have an understanding of something, but it's that aha moment, that moment of insight when you truly get it at your core. That's it. That's when you have transformed knowledge into your own personal wisdom, your own truth, your own personal truth. This is when you stand in clarity. When you arrive to that place, it doesn't matter how opposite opinions you can hear on the outside world. You know your truth because you have experienced it, and nobody can take away that from you. Nobody can take away your experience from you. And so coming back to the energy of love as a unifying field, think about this. Your heart is the first organ that is created, and then from there you're constantly creating a magnetic field that maintains your body. It attracts the cells of your body, all the pieces, all the elements that have to come together to create you, who you are. And on top of that, the energetic affluence that you have within your field that attracts everything else and keeps your energetic field as you. And so from this, I wanted to share a story that happened about 7 years ago, but in my morning meditation, I got that aha moment where it was a deepening of an understanding of a situation or an experience I had 7 years ago. I was finishing the Usui master training, so I was finishing the fourth level of Usui Reiki. That is when you become a teacher, where you can actually do the attunements and teach others about Reiki. And it was a time in my life that it was very much a breaking point, a tower moment, where my 8-year relationship ended, and then all sudden of different things began to happen, like the house that I was moving, I had to leave within a week, the job that I had ended, and on top of that, I was finishing and kind of initiating a very different way in my in my life. And something just knocked at my window. And that's the way we are interconnected. There's this interconnectedness that everything is a relationship, and so it makes sense that something just knocked at my window. Just sharing the story, right? And so coming back, anyways, that's kind of like the experience where I was in my life, and I was finishing as everything was unfolding, all of it was unfolding. I was finishing the Usui Reiki training and doing the attunement. That's when the teacher kind of connects you to the frequency of Reiki. And I had this powerful and potent experience with the Ascended Master Jesus, who I absolutely love. Yes, I grew up I was born in Argentina, grew up in Argentina, which is a very Catholic country, and yet even though there was, my family was classified as Catholic, it wasn't. I never thought of myself as Catholic, and yet I felt always very close and drawn with the Ascended Master Jesus. And so I had this experience where it was literally an experience where he was standing right there in front of me, and I remember looking at his feet with his sandals, and I saw him with these white robes. And as I looked up towards his face emanated this compassion. His eyes, there was this compassion and pure love and grace. And he was just radiating this love, compassionate awareness and loving awareness, and just like this warmth. And I remember I kind of saw his hand. He handed me his hand and he said, "Walk with me." And I remember the sensation, everything in my own internal experience when I said yes and I hold his hand. And when I hold his hand, this overwhelming wave, waterfall, and overflow of love came just overflowing into my system, and I was just bawling, like I was crying, but it wasn't tears of sadness. It was like a release, a release and a becoming and a coming home, a returning home. And I haven't felt that amount of energy, that amount of love before. And given that everything that was happening in my life, it was just such a beautiful and potent experience. And so kind of fast forwarding to now, to today, in that sense, songs came. I had many other situations and experiences during my meditations that he came and gave me teachings through stories. And it was all about walking his path and following him. And that's how I made the interpretation of walking with him. It was as me as a follower and following his path. And this morning, through my meditation, there was this integration to that message that I finally realized that it wasn't about me following him, it was a deeper integration of the energy of what Jesus represents for me within me. So it wasn't me following him, it was about me being filled with him. And so to give you a little bit of context to this, is a few years ago I did a beautiful healing with horses, and you're basically on the ground with the horses, and you enter the space with the horses, and then something unfolds. And these two particular white horses, beautiful Raven and Oscar, and we had a beautiful experience together, and a lot came. But the message that that it's in relationship to this story is that Oscar, one of the horses, said to me that the same thing. It's like, I've been walking with you. I've been walking with you this entire time. And so he stopped, and he's like, I've been walking with you this entire time. So the message is the same, is that not following. It's like spirit, source, higher power, Jesus, whatever name you want to call the divine, and this higher and larger power beyond us is within. So the message was to be filled by this energy, to bring this energy in everything that I do and everything that I am, to not only bring, it already exists within me, but be filled with this energy in everything that I do and that I am. I was still understanding it as a separate as me. So I was believing that I had to follow him, somebody else outside of me. Whereas I arrived to this deeper integration today and alignment. And it was really powerful and beautiful. And I wanted to share it with you. And in that note, I want to dive into the light language to bring this connection to your heart, to bring and be filled with the divine, that larger intelligence, that loving intelligence, and that compassionate intelligence and awareness of the sacred heart, the cosmic heart, and to be filled yourself with it. So let's dive right in, and I invite you to place both feet on the earth. If you have shoes, I invite you to take your shoes off, place both feet on the earth. You can lay down or you can be sitting on your chair, and just open to receive. Here we go. Irintu ukuru utushtiatayal. Irintianai oniaqua ala iintia entua ampua al omnia orintua enei eshenia oma ela ori ikiakaya o ompu ulu uru usunta anei eretia anaya ompi iki ihi ashe osha ashti titikri inish ataya okum runtua titikra ontia ale iria tan to umpua aya ontia ehenda akah ahia ta ia arete iniatual omtia omai iria ta eshti inil aman onia tu umpi ritia tu umpa ala kritia ania ti inti ishitiawa Omnia tu ul umti ini ochia ku al eitia hontia ahante ea ku al iria tu umpaya ku al tenesia ta ia umpa ochia tea oniata yala te hiata yalai Irayatai ti hialayatai iniananero yatuala iriahaneyo huilia haneaya hoaleya pariatai hiatai isiawa meyalai Inahiate opaya oya Eniana ualayatai Iniana vayataya koyalai Iniahama owaheya hai. Taking a deep breath in into the heart. Beautiful. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Have a beautiful, gorgeous, magical, blissful day. Bye.